was a dealer, you'd be dead by now. That's it. That's what I'm talking about. First day on the job, you hit a $3 million seizure.
Picture this: Denzel Washington, Hollywood's golden boy, pointing a gun at a rookie cop while declaring King Kong ain't got nothing on me. But what if I told you that iconic moment almost never happened? What if Denzel's character was supposed to walk away scot-free? And what if Eminem turned down the rookie cop role to make 8 Mile instead? Welcome back to Primetime Throwback. Today we're peeling back the layers of Training Day, the 2001 masterpiece that flipped Denzel's good guy image and earned him his second Oscar. The real story isn't just what made it to the screen, it's everything that almost didn't. Before Rafael Perez became a household name, before the LAPD Rampart scandal exploded across every newspaper in America, David Ayer was already putting pen to paper on a story that would seem prophetic. Ayer wrote Training Day in 1995, years before the public knew about the corruption festering inside the Rampart division. Ayer had grown up in South Central, in an area locals called the Jungle, when the Rampart scandal finally broke with Officer Rafael Perez caught stealing cocaine out of evidence lockers. Ayer's script suddenly looked a lot less like fiction and more like a warning shot. And here's the kicker: Denzel Washington grew that signature goatee specifically to emulate Rafael Perez himself. Every time you see Alonzo Harris pop up on the screen, you're looking at a character literally modeled after the real corrupt cop at the center of the LAPD's biggest scandal. In Ayer's original script, Alonzo doesn't die in a hail of bullets. Instead, he walks away, another corrupt cop escaping justice. But Denzel read that script and goes, absolutely not. He thought Alonzo's character arc demanded a violent death. His reasoning? The wages of sin is death. Director Antoine Fukua backed Denzel's vision, and they changed the ending. But here's the twist: when they tested the new ending with audiences, it got some of the lowest scores in Fuqua's career. Why? Because audiences had fallen so completely under Alonzo's spell that they didn't want to see him die, even after witnessing his crime. Before Denzel and Ethan Hawke's explosive chemistry, Training Day went through a casting carousel that would make your head spin. Samuel L. Jackson, the first choice for Alonzo. And here's a fun connection: Jackson later voiced Officer Frank Tenpenny in Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, another character inspired by Rafael Perez. But the real shocker: Eminem got offered Jake Hoyt's role and he turned it down for 8 Mile. Imagine that alternate universe: Eminem learning the ropes from Denzel's Alonzo, while Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre appear as supporting characters. Other names considered included Garrett Sinise and Bruce Willis for Alonzo, Matt Damon and Tobey Maguire for Jake, but none of these combos would have created the specific dynamic that makes Training Day so legendary. Speaking of Ethan Hawke, his audition story is Hollywood gold. When Hawke came in to read with Denzel, he was prepared for a straightforward screen test. Instead, Denzel starts improvising, completely throwing Hawke off his game. Ethan got so rattled he considered telling the casting team to go to hell and walking out. But here's the beautiful irony: that chaotic, off-balance feeling Hawke experienced in the audition room was exactly what his character Jake would be feeling throughout the whole film. The next phone call Hawke received, he gets the part. Hey, if you're still with me, make sure you hit that like button and let me know in the comments. Did you know about Denzel's behind-the-scenes power moves? And hey, do not forget, subscribe to Primetime Throwback and you get plenty of deep dives just like this one into cinema's greatest secrets. Here's something most people don't know. Denzel Washington didn't just influence the script and the ending. He completely changed who directed the film. Originally, Davis Guggenheim was attached to direct Training Day. Once Denzel signed on, he pushed for Antoine Fukua to take over. This wasn't just a preference change. Fukua brought street cred and understanding of the world that they were depicting. Without Denzel's influence, Training Day might have lost its raw edge entirely. If you're still with me, hit that like button and let me know in the comments. Did you know about Denzel's behind-the-scenes power moves? And don't forget to subscribe to Primetime Throwback for more deep dives into cinema's greatest secrets. One of the most heartwarming stories from the Training Day set involves Terry Cruz, who wasn't even supposed to be in the movie. Cruz was just visiting a friend when director Antoine Fukua noticed him. Fukua walks up to the imposing visitor and says, "Take off your shirt and clip pigeons on the roof." The next thing Terry Cruz knew, he was getting invited back every night, appearing in multiple scenes, including standing right next to Denzel in that famous King Kong sequence. That random set visit launched Cruz's entire acting career. Now, here's a detail that might seem minor, but completely transformed the film's emotional stakes. In early drafts, Jake Hoyt was married but had no kids. It wasn't until the 2001 revision that we see his wife breastfeeding their infant daughter. That single addition changes everything. Jake's motivation is no longer just career advancement. It's about protecting his family. When forced to choose between Alonzo's corruption or standing up for what's right, there's a baby at home depending on him. Antoine Fukua didn't just want authenticity in casting, he demanded it in locations too. The production secured permission to film in the Imperial Courts housing project in Watts, marking the first time LA street gangs had allowed cameras into that area. Gang technician advisor Clee Shahid Sloan helped Fukua cast actual gang members from the Rolling 60 Crips, PJ Watts Crips, and Black P. Stones as extras. The community lifted their filming ban because they wanted the movie to be unflinchingly honest about their reality. Studio execs wanted to remove one of the most important scenes in the film, the Three Wise Men sequence, where Alonzo meets with the corrupt police officials. They thought it was slowing down the pacing, but Fukua fought to keep it, understanding something crucial. This scene showed that Alonzo wasn't just one bad apple, but rather part of a rotting tree. Without that scene, Alonzo's corruption is personal, but with it, it becomes institutional. And that's what makes Training Day so unforgettable. Now here's a detail that's so subtle you probably never even noticed it. Every time Alonzo fires his weapon, his gun sounds louder than anyone else's in the film. Sound designer Piero Mura crafted this deliberately to reinforce Alonzo's dominance even in the audio mix. Your subconscious registers that Alonzo's power is literally louder than everyone else's. Despite the film's eventual success, those early test screenings were brutal. Audiences couldn't tolerate seeing Denzel's character die off, even after seeing his heinous crimes. Alonzo's charisma was so powerful that viewers had been completely seduced by his evil. They were literally rooting for the villain to survive. And finally, here's the detail that brings it all full circle. When Denzel grows the goatee to emulate Rafael Perez, he wasn't just copying a look, he was channeling the very corruption that would define the LAPD's darkest chapter. Alonzo Harris wasn't just fictional, he was a complete composite of institutional rot. Training Day stands as more than just a crime thrill. It's a time capsule of American policing at its most corrupt, a prophet's warning wrapped in Hollywood entertainment. The film paved the way for a morally complex anti-hero later in TV dramas like The Shield and Breaking Bad, proving audiences were hungry for uncomfortable truths about power and corruption. Next time you see Training Day, remember, you're witnessing the collision between Hollywood fiction and street reality, where the most unbelievable moments are often the most true. Hey, thanks for coming with us on this deep dive into Training Day's secrets. And if you enjoyed uncovering the truth behind this modern classic, make sure you like this video, subscribe to Primetime Throwback, and hit that notification bell. What other crime classics do we need to investigate next? Let us know down there in the comments. And remember, in the world of Training Day, everyone's training for something. The question is, what are you training for?